Here is beading tip number whatever. So for me, I'm a stickler when it comes to making things symmetrical. That's why I like beading on graph paper, and I like to make sure that I have a center. So on here I have my beads that are going to go around the rhinestones, and I loosely place this over. So the thing is with this is I need to make sure that this is symmetrical so that whatever I have on this side will fit on this side. Beads are pretty malleable, and by that what I mean is that it's easy to move them in place when you need the space. So on here, I don't want to bunch it too much, but if you see me bunching it right now, you can see that this is mostly center. The issue with me trying to get this centered is that every time I tack down a bead, it pushes it out even further. So eventually, when I start down here and start tacking it down, it will push this line a little bit further along. I like to plan my beads out. On here, I will probably stick with this as the center. If that pushes it too far, then I'll probably try to stick with this as a center. Alright, I'm about right here. I've been tacking down every 2 beads, and as I'm getting closer to the center, this is already the center, and I'm not done beading this. So my next goal is to try to get this bead in the center, and by doing that, I am going to tack down about maybe every 1 bead and kind of switch it up. So if I do 1 bead here, I'll do 2 here, maybe 1 here, 2 here, just to kind of spread it out a little bit. And that's kind of how that's how I do it. So that helps me. I'm doing a little part of this because it didn't really fall where I wanted it to, so I'm going to have to tack or untack a few of these, maybe a little bit further, about halfway, and redo it with maybe every other bead, or 1 to 2 beads, split them up again. Here's what it looks like after the fix. I did have to do it off camera because doing it in front of the camera kind of makes my wrist hurt in a weird way. So now that I know how many mountains are going to be right here, I'm going to do the same number on this side. Now that we have the other side, I have all of the beads I need. You see that there's a little gap there, so I'm going to do the exact same thing of trying to tack them down a little bit more than I normally would to give me that space. So again, it will push the beads throughout this whole thing, and eventually this will be right next to it. This is what it looks like with everything tacked down. As you can see, you can't really notice like where you're tacking it down, which is good. So just make sure to space it out and give yourself room.